So you might want to watch those videos. Okay, I started recording. So you might want to watch the videos. I don't know if you've watched them, but basically I'm just following the videos to make this. Although I'm not following it like how do I put it now, back to back, in the sense that I'm doing exactly everything the guy is doing. This is kind of like I'm creating my own kind of stuff here, right? So after last class, I discovered that how do I put it? Let me go to okay. I discovered that he added more functionality, and I gave you guys an assignment. I don't know if you did it. Did anybody try out the assignment that I dropped that I said we should do? Olumide, you said okay. Just unmute yourself and tell me what you did. Like just unmute yourself and explain. Should I say explain? All right. While we wait for somebody to come up and talk, um, I'm trying to get the video, but I'm not going to play the video for you guys because it's going to take our time. But yeah, basically for now, what we have here, Mayowa, if just like in case, because you're not in the last class,
Okay, sir.
what we have here, yeah, can you hear me? I'm just saying that
Yeah,
I'm going to just do a recap of everything because you're not in the last class. Do you get?
I get, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so give me a second. All right. Um, why is this thing doing like this? I guess it's gonna start again. All right. So basically, what we're doing here is I sent you guys a video. I sent you guys 4 videos actually about modules in Python. Right. So if you watch those videos, just if you watch those videos, you should see the different kind of modules that we have in Python. We have the built-in modules, we have the standard Python modules, and then we have third-party or external modules, basically, or external libraries, actually. Um, so basically, in this program, we're making like an English dictionary, and we have a data.json file. The file basically like contains words and their meanings. So as you can see, this is abandoned industrial site, right? And then it has a meaning, but the meaning is in a list. So it's a list of meanings. And it's a lot of it. It's not the whole dictionary, because I know that if it's the whole dictionary, the file will be way larger than this. But it's not the whole dictionary, it's just probably someone that just sat down and did this one. So as you can see, like words and their meaning, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to write our program. This is where is it? Okay, this is our this is our main file. Not main file sha, but this is our app file sha. It's app.py, and this is where we're like going to write our program. So let me start from here. Oh no, okay, this is where I started from actually. I imported JSON. JSON is an inbuilt, it's a standard, is a standard, hold on, let me see. Okay, it's an inbuilt actually. So JSON is an inbuilt module in Python, right? It's an inbuilt module in Python. So what this does is basically it's loading my file. This is open data.json. This is for me to open the file, to access the file, right? Now I'm loading the file into this JSON. So what it does basically is it knows that this my JSON.data is a JSON file. So it takes the whole JSON and literally just like, should I say, equate it, or he sets it to data. That's what I'm doing. So like it's like I'm reading that JSON file, right? And I did some examples here. Okay, yeah. So let's say this is your JSON file, for example, right? This is how a JSON file would usually normally look. Um, yeah, this is how it will look, right? It's like dictionary basically. So if you have let's say you have the JSON file like this, and you have name, the key is name, and the value of the key is Erastus. For you to access this Erastus, you have to call this key. You guys remember when we did dictionary, there was keys, there was values, and all that. So it's exactly the same, more like the same chart. So back here, you can see that I'm creating a function, right? This is a function. And in this function, I call it translate. And in this function, let's start from here. I'm getting the user's word, or I'm getting a word basically, and I'm saying if the word no, and I'm saying no. Okay, I think when I started, I was just returning the meaning. I was returning data.w. This data.w means like access the meaning of that word. Not literally, but that's what it does. You get, so it's like we're slicing the word in the whole JSON. You know, slicing now, we use square brackets to slice. In dictionaries or JSON, use square brackets to access the values of a key. So this W will be our key, which is the word, and then we get the value, right? So yeah, so what I have done here is, let me start from here. First of all, I'm should I say, translating the word that they're asking into lowercase, because if you check our JSON file, it's all lower cases. And in the case where somebody asks us, what is this? Wow. Okay, in the case where someone asks us a word and they use capital letter, we won't be able to like get the meaning, right? So that's why I'm changing it to lowercase. So then I check if the word is inside the data, the JSON data. And I say okay, I won't do this for now. I'll just, this kind of gave me a bug. So for now, I'll just do this, right? So I'm going to be returning data. Please, if you're with your PC and or follow me up. So I'm going to be returning the meaning of the word, right? That's the list. This is going to return a list actually. We'll see that in a moment. Then I'm doing else if, no, let me not do this else if first. So I'm going to do else, return oops, no word like that here. Please double check it. This is going to return when our word is not found inside data. Do you get? Now, this is how we prompt the program. So we do, so I just added this one. It's an extra feature that I added. So I say enter queue to exist. Basically, when they enter queue and they press enter, it's going to break. Do you get? So I did impute. So I did while true, in the sense that it will keep on asking the user, um, enter word. It keep on asking the user. It keep on running this whole program again until you enter queue, right? And it breaks it. Do you understand? So I say while true, word is equals to input, ask the user to enter his word, right? And if the word is Q, I'm very sure that nobody would be looking for the meaning of Q. So I just put enter Q to exit anyways. We'll see it in a moment. Then if the word is not Q, rather, we come here, right? If it is Q, if the word is Q, If the word is Q, right, it breaks. But then if it's not Q at all, it continues here, right? And then here we're going to print translate. We're going to print what this translate function returns, which is this function here. As you can see, it's returning, returning, returning. Back here, okay, back. Okay, let me run this first so that I'll show you guys what I've been talking about. So while that is running, okay. So as you can see, it says enter word, and I go like rain. So it gives me a list of 2 meanings of rain, right? Now, imagine you did rain, or let's even check this rain. No, let's do rain. So you can see capital letters mixed with the word. Let's see if it still gives you the same thing. It gives you the same thing. You see, this is the loop I was talking about. As you can see, it starts with enter Q to exit, and it tells me enter a word. I write the word, it gives me the meaning. Enter a word again. I write the word, it gives me the meaning. You know, enter a word like that, like that. It keeps on asking. Now, if I say Q, and I press enter, it's going to break. And I think I should print. No, it's not necessary. So yeah, it's going to break. I can't remember the assignment I gave you guys. I think that in a moment I'll remember. If you remember, please unmute yourself and remind me the assignment. So where okay, so back to this matches thing. Now, I'm importing this get close matches. It's an inbuilt function, but it's inside a standard library. Tiflib is a standard module in Python. Library and modules basically. In Python, it's called modules, but generally it's called libraries. So yeah, this difflib is a standard module in Python, and I'm like importing this particular function from it. If I should do alt and pick this, it takes me to the difflib file. This difflib py file, like I said, is a standard library. It's just like a normal Python file, right? That these guys have written for us. As you can see, it's a whole Python file on its own. All we are just going to do is, the thing is, it comes with Python. It's standard. It's like with Python. Every Python SDK has it basically. So you can see there's this function inside. Is a function, as you can see, and it gets close matches. Now there are two ways you can do this. You can import. So you can do from difflib, import the function, or you can just do. If I comment this and I do import difflib, right? And when I come here, I'll just be like difflib, but can you see? So I've imported difflib here, and then I'm accessing whatever I want to access from difflib. It still works the same. But instead of doing that, since difflib, since get close matches is the only function we need, there is no need for you to like import the whole of difflib. So we just did from difflib import get close matches. So it imports that. And if you check this here, you can see that this get close matches takes a word. I think preferably a string or any character. It's actually any what is it called? Okay, it's a sequence. Okay, it can be an int, it can be a float, it can be a word, but basically in this sense, we're using it for strings. So it takes a word and then it takes the possibilities, right? And then it takes number of times you want, number of, I think this means maximum what's this thing called? Maximum matches, yes, something like that. Sha. And then this is a cutoff. Like I said, there's a whole math to how get close matches is getting its answer. As you can see, you see mathematics somewhere now. You can see all this ratio greater than or equal to okay, not too much maths here. But basically you can see that yeah, you can see that. So there's a cutoff, and the cutoff is like how do I put it now? It's like a constraint value that kinds of okay. So let me say if your cutoff is 1.0, the matches are very far from each other. Like, let me say, if you're comparing the word um rain, RAIN, and the word rainy, RENNY, the difference is like the difference is like 0.5, let's just say, or 0.6. Do you get? I don't know how to explain this, but like if you watch the video, you understand. So the difference is like 0.6. But then if you're matching the word RAIN and RAINN, the difference will be like 0.1 or 0.2. Do you get? So the closer the words, the lesser the cutoff, and the more different the words, the higher the cutoff. So if you put a cutoff of 1, it's going to literally get you words that, the difference is not that, the constraint is not that tight. But when you put 0.6, so by default you put 0.6. When you put 0.3, it's going to be very, very tight, like this. The constraint will be very tight to get the next possible matches to that word. So basically that's what we're using here, right? So we are doing get close matches. So we are doing this in case they do a misspelling, right? Or they write a wrong word, or they don't really exactly, it's just a misspelling, in case they do a misspelling. So we're going to get all the closest matches to that particular word that it passed us. This is the word, and this is data.keys, right? This is data.keys. Yeah, this data.keys. This data.keys is all the words that we have in this JSON file. I've told you dictionary. For you to access the keys, you do this, you do this. This returns a list. If you guys remember. We can also include cutoff, but I don't want to. We can also include cutoff, and we can also include n. I'll just do n for now. 5. In fact, let me include cutoff. Let me say cutoff should be 0 point. I think the maximum is 1, and the lowest, I don't even know. The lowest is 0 point something. So let's say 0.4, right? So what we're doing here, this elif, we're saying length. We'll get the length of the matches, right? If it is greater than 0, this means that if there's any word that is so close to that word that the user is trying to get, at least one, that's what I'm saying, greater than 0, at least one word that fits what they are trying to say, we're going to say, oh, did you mean this? Now, I'm not even supposed to do this because we're going to get at least one word. So this is actually a bug, because if he returns, so let me show you what I'm saying. Let me run this first. Too much talk. So if I do rain, I forgot. I'm going to print. Let me print the matches. Let me print the matches. Let me run it again. All right. So if I do rain, as you can see, it gives me a list of words that are close to rain. It knows automatically that this is a misspelling. Not it knows, basically, it cannot find this particular word, like word for word. You get the exact word, it can't find it. So what it does is it gets us a mistake. Let me put this here actually, because I meant to lower this first. If you guys understand what I'm doing, you know the reason why I'm taking this lower up first. You get, yeah, I have to lower the word first before I even start matching it. If not, it might have a bug. So it returns the list of the words possibilities, not possibilities, results, the closest matches, right? And it tells me, oh, did you mean rain, train, or rainy instead? Now, this is what I wanted to show you. What if our list was just going to return um, one, right? Just one result, one closest match, right? So if I rerun this, not be asking me this question. If I rerun this and I go rain, oh, Okay, yes, this was the bug I was expecting. So as you can see here now, it's only one word, rain, because I actually set it to one actually. So it's returning only one closest match, right? Now, in this case, we've done, did you mean the first one or the second one or the third one? Now, in this case, there's no second one, there's no third one. That's why it's throwing this error and is as you can see, list index out of range. When you see this, it means that the index you're trying to access does not exist, like it's not there, or it's not up to whatever index you're trying to exist. So as you can see, this is where our bug is. Now, there are two solutions for this. Either I just remove this, right? Or I will do inside this if before I return. No, actually, it's not going to be helpful, but you can do, did you mean this, right? And then you now do, um, okay, you can do this. No, 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 before you return. You can do, so you can check if the length is actually greater than one. No, not one. If the length is two. So you can do if the length is two, if the length is three, so that you do that. But that is very unnecessary. It doesn't make sense. So basically, we'll just tell them the first match. Let me increase this back to five. We're just going to ask them, oh, did you mean this is our first word here? Um, Something else we can do is we can probably look through it. If you check the last time I was trying to do that, but because we are returning, it might not, we can just print. Yes, in this case, we can print it, but then I want to be returning it. Um, yeah, but let me just go. You can always advance the code. You can make it better. Like I said, we're going to like find a way to deploy this on a website. Not deploy, we're going to like embed it in a website using Django and Flask. Is it Flask? I think it's Django. I can't remember, one of the two. Sha. So yeah, we'll be using it to like embed this whole project inside the um, website, and we're going to like make it more reader user friendly. So sorry, give me a second. So okay, so if you so let's just try this out now. Rain. Okay, so as you can see, it's telling me, did you mean rain? And I say, oh yes, I meant rain. For now, you just type rain, right? And then it gives you the meaning. It gives you the meaning for rain. Now going further, if you watch the video, you see what the guy did. I'm actually trying to look for the video. I So just give me a second. I just want to get the video so that I make sure I'm not doing the wrong thing. I can do it, but then I might omit some things. So you guys give me a second. Damilola, you're welcome. Set up your environment and get ready to write some Python. What is this thing? Okay. Uh, ah, wow, wow. Okay. Um, all right. Okay, so the next thing, like I said, you can add your own functionalities and all that to the app. But the next thing this guy did here was so he goes along to ask if where are we? Okay, so he goes along to ask, so if basically here, right, if you're like, did you mean the first match instead, right? He goes along to say, let me just do it. So if there's a question mark here, and then it goes along to say enter y if yes. I'm very sure that if you have if you use terminal very well, you will see things like this. You get so yeah. Now, so what I'm going to do here is that when I'm like, oh, so I'm not going to print these matches. Yeah, I've already shown you guys, so I'm not going to print these matches anymore. Just know that this get close matches returns a list. That was the list I was showing you down there. Where is it? Is it console run? So this is the list that I'm showing you. Do you get? And I don't know if I should show you more functionality. So if I do one and I run this, let me see. Oh, wow, can you even see? So when I did one, when I did the cutoff to be one, it didn't even find any word that matches rain. Okay, it's the other way around. If it is one, it's tighter. Oh god. So if I do zero, let me see. Okay, basically as you can see, but let me just leave. That's why I said I don't want to include this cutoff. 0.6 is fine. So where was I? Yeah, I was here. So basically, when it asks you, oh, did you mean the first word? In this case, it will be rain. In this case, it will be asking you, oh, did you mean rain instead? Right? And then I'll be like, enter yes if yes, enter y if yes, or what am I writing? Or n if no. So we're going to this now is going to be an input, right? Because at this sorry, because at this point we want to be asking the user to enter y or n, right? So here I'm going to make it sorry. Can you guys still see my screen? Please, if you're with me, just unmute yourself and talk. My they
Yes,
just
sir.
like okay. Nice. And you can still
Yes,
see
I
my
can see
screen.
your, I can
Oh,
see your screen, sir.
okay, nice. So where am I? Oh, okay, great. So we asked, did you mean, the first one? Then what we're going to do is we're going to put this into an input. So because we're going to ask them to enter either Y or no. So I'm just going to say, should I say answer or let me just say Y or no? Y, yes, or no, let me just do YN actually. So YN, I think that's what the guy did. Let me see. So yeah, YN is equals to input. Now we're going to like be telling them, okay, did you mean, in this case, rain instead? Enter yes, enter Y if yes, or N if no. So we're going to do if the YN, that's their answer to the question that we asked basically. If it is Y, right? Actually double equal to. Now, in his case, he just did for capital letters. Most people might want to do, most people might just type Y. They will not, they'll just type Y like this kind of Y. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do if Y or if yn is equal to y, or yn is equals to as in small y, right? So if they give us big letter y, sorry, capital letter y, or lowercase y, we're still going to um we're still going to give them their results back. It's not as if the app is going to crash because of that or anything. Return. So we're going to now return the match that they want, right? Which is this first match. But if I return this, I'll be returning the word. But I don't want to return the word. I want to return the meaning of the word. So for me, why this thing? So for me to return the meaning of the word, I'm going to do this. Oh no, sorry. I'm going to do this and data, right? Remember, this is the word. Just like we have, where is it? Just like we have here, right? This is the word. This is data. So this is data. Get the meaning of the word. This is data. Get the meaning of the word. You guys get? Very easy and straightforward. In the case where it is, so let's test this first and see. If I run this and I'm like rain, as you can see, it's asking me, oh, did you mean rain? Instead, enter y if yes. So I just enter y and I go. So it gives me the meaning. So if I go again rain, it asks me, do you mean, and I go, and for now it's just going to return none. Oh, interesting. And then it skips to the next one. Why is it returning none? Oh, because I don't do anything. That's why it even crash. All right. So as you can see, if you don't check for something, it will just return none, probably, or it will crash. Anyways. So if I do if I don't know how this guy is done, but basically I'm just going to do the same thing here. What am I? But I've forgotten how to use Kineo. Wow. Control D. It's not D. Oh, I've forgotten how to use. Okay. I've forgotten how to use some hotkeys in Kini. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. All right, so here we want to say if they give us no, if they enter N or they enter N, we're going to say I think we're going to say, oh, we did not find any other word. Let me just look for the English. Okay. All right. If okay, we can do it like this because I'm looking at the way he did his own. It's kind of slightly different. Let me just show you guys. So if you're looking at my screen, this is the way he did his own. And I know I've had a discussion of using this if, elif, else, right? So he uses if, elif, else, right? But in my case, if you look at my code, I'm just using if, and I don't know why I don't like using if else or elif. I like using if, just if statement. So far, this is, it checks it, it does it. If it's not this one, it moves to the next line, it does it. It's the same thing, basically. It's just like I'm using the statement. It's not like one statement. This is a statement on its own. This is another statement on its own. So here I'm using two different statements. If is that, okay, let me bring back his work. So in this case, if you see from this if here to this else, it's one statement. If you guys understand what I'm saying. So from this if here to this here is one statement. Just listen. If this, if y is equal to this, right? Return this. Else, if this, return this, right? Then else, return this, right? That is like one sentence. Let me just put it that way. But here is like two sentences. If this, do this, then the next sentence is if this, do this. I hope you guys understand the difference. But then it still gives the same thing. I don't want to do exactly what he did. I would have done it, but I don't want to do exactly what he did. Because he kind of duplicated something, which you guys will see. Okay, let me just show you. So if you see here, he goes, we didn't understand your entry. Ah, okay, this is the usefulness. Okay, then the word doesn't exist. Please check it. Okay, we can do that. Now I understand the reason why I use if else and elif. So here we're doing, if it is no, actually here we want to return the word doesn't exist. Please double check it. Okay, actually. So we want to do the hope you guys are following up with me.
Yes, we are.
Um
Yes, sir.
okay, thanks.
Yes.
All right. As you can see, this one wants to kiss me. Double quote here, double quote. Okay. So let me run this basically. Even if it doesn't do everything we want. What this guy did is kind of redundant. Okay, I get it. Okay, let me show you guys something. Okay, let me show you guys something. So if I enter the word rain, I don't know why I'm always using rain. It tells me, oh, did you mean rain instead? You know, we've tested for Y and it works, right? Let's test for N. And I say no, and it tells me, oh, the word doesn't exist. Please double check it. Hmm. Okay, that means yeah, this word doesn't exist. They should double check it, right? Now let me just do this again. Rain. Now, if I, instead of me saying yes or no, if I say, let me say yes now. If I say yes, for example, and I press enter, you can see it is returning none, right? This is the reason why this guy used if, elif, and else. So we're just going to change this to elif. Sorry. We're going to change this to elif, and down here we'll change this to else. It means that if it does not return, if the user doesn't enter yes or no, we're going to, or there are different ways we can check this thing actually. So we can do this, we can do else return. I'll do this and I'll show you the other way too. There are different ways you can always write code. We didn't understand your entry, right? So now, let me do this. And I go rain, and I go yes. So now you can tell me we didn't understand your entry. Now, in this statement, the way this thing kind of works is, so if I say if I say did you mean this blah blah, and I say yes, it comes here and it checks if yn is equals to this, right? It runs this first, right? If he says that, if he sees that okay, it's not here, he goes to this elif and he runs this, and it's not here, so he finds this else. The last time when there was no else, he was returning none, but now there's an else, so he finds this else and then he returns we didn't understand your entry. Now I want to do something. I just want to show you guys that there are different ways you can always write Python code. So I leave my if and here, and I'm going to do if my yn is not equal to it's the same thing. There's no difference now. It's not equal to Actually, let's do if yn dot lower is not equal to y, or when I'm done, you guys should be, or is not equal to, I can even do is not actually Python. So I can do this. Can do, as you can see, I'm using the two ways of. I hope it will work perfectly. Now, oh no, I've already. So I want to do return. I want to do return. We didn't understand your entry, right? Here. So as you can see now, instead of me using this guy's format, which is elif, else, right? What I'm doing is, first of all, from the beginning, I'm going to convert these guys. This might not work actually. So let me just do yn is equals to yn dot lower, right? So I'll do that here, and I'll remove this, right? So whether they use capital letter or they use small letter, and here we're just going to do if it is equals to small letter y actually, and here we're going to do if it is equal to small letter y alone. All right. So here you can see I'm doing if it is not y, mistake. If it's not yes, or yn is not n, that means it's not none, no, right? We're going to straight up tell them, oh, we didn't understand your entry, right? Then we'll do yes, then it stops here. Do you get? If he checks this and he enters here, it's stop here, it's stop here, right? One thing is it might come here, but then since this is false, it will not run this. And since this 2 is false, it will not run this. Do you get? If I put this under, it doesn't change anything. If I put this below, it doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't change anything. If I put it down here, it doesn't really change anything. But the sense I like to program is in the sense that before I even, you know, before I run a proper operation on a particular user's input, I want to check if the input they are giving me is what I want from the beginning. Do you get? Before I even bother myself with, oh, return the data, or even check if this is a yes or no. If it's not yes or no from the beginning, we just return this. And what happened? Let me do this. I think it's because of I'm being used not. Let's see if this will work now. Wow. Dot is dot not. Let's just do our JJ. All right. So if I go rain, and I'm like, yes, so straight up. But it's the same thing anyways. There's no difference, to be honest. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. So what else? I think that is all. There was an assignment I gave you guys. I can't remember what it was. Okay, I think I remember now. I think I said that you should print each of the words. Was it? Yeah, the meanings. Right. It is the meaning. You know, the meaning is in the form of a list. Yes, this was you people's assignment. I just remember. So you know the meaning is in form of a list, right? Where is it? So you know it's in form of a list. Say I say I'm thinking of a word. Mom. Okay. Ah, mother. Okay. As you can wow, wonderful. As you can see, the word mother has a lot of meanings, right? Um, as you can see, it has a lot of meanings: to give birth to care for, the first wood from which blah 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 blah. A woman has at least one child. Okay, so we don't want to return this to the user. Do you get, in the sense that we'll be saying is a list. Do you get, is a list, and then all the meaning. What we want to do is we want to print the first one, then on the next line, we'll print the second one. The next line, we'll print the third one, like that, like that, like that, like that. So in order to do that, I know I tried one format like this the last time. It didn't work. It didn't make sense actually. And what I did the last time was that here, was it here? Um, print. Okay, here, right? Instead of returning this data W, right? I'm going to do I'm going to do how will I loop now? I'm going to loop it. If you can remember, what I did was, instead of returning this, what I did was I did something like for word in data. You can remember very well. I did something like this, right? And I was saying, return, but it won't work. This will not work um because this will not, what's going on. Okay. Anyway, Sha, I don't know why this is giving me this error, but this will not work because return returns only once. Like it returns once it runs this return, it returns it, and that's the end for it. Do you get? So when I say for word in data, this mother, for example, now this mother word, for example, now, right? If the code is going and it goes, okay, W is equals to data. Sorry, if yeah, it goes translates W, the word is mother, and it's like mother, whatever case, it takes it to lower case, and then it gets closer matches. This is not necessary, but then if the word mother is in the data, it goes ahead and it says, okay, for each word inside this list, right? For each word inside this list, return word, and this will be the first one it will return. And when it's returned this, that is the end of the function for it. It stops here. It returns, once it returns, that's the end. It doesn't do anything in the function again. Do you get? So once it runs this return and it returns let me remove this, and it returns the word, right? It's just going to return this first word. Let's try it out and see. And then the remaining words is not going to return it. The remaining words is not, as you can see, it's just returning the first word for me, and that is the end as far as it is concerned. If I do it again, it's just the first word it will return for me. But what we want is we want it to return everything. So we cannot do that returning word one by one in this space. What we would have to do is outside here, right? When we get our yeah, here, right? So instead of just printing whatever this function returned, right? We're going to get it as an output. So I'll say this um mm, So I'll say output, or should I say meanings? Let me just say meanings is equals to control V. Uh,
Root meaning. Okay.
yeah, sorry. Meanings is equals to translate what. So this now is going to return me a list, right? Let's see that. So if I say print meanings, and I run this, and I go mother, you can see it's returning this list for me, right? Now here I want to say, okay, for meaning in meanings, right? I want you to print the meaning. What's going on here is that no, our app might crash too, but let's just continue and see. So what is going on here? Oh, it will not crash actually. It will not. Or it might. Let's just see first. So what's going on here is that if you get a word and the word is returning a list by norms, is returning a list normally, right? Before I check it, let me just show you. So it gets the word from the user. So far the word is not Q, it doesn't break. So it gets all the meanings using that word that it got, right? Using the translate, and the translate returns a list, right? So we're going to say for each word in this, for each meaning in this list of meanings, print the meaning. So it's going to print the meaning to the user until it has finished, right? Before you can even come back here and say, enter a word again. Do you get? Yes, one stupid assignment I want to give you guys. Okay, let me just do this first. Let me just do this first. So as you can see now, it's returning it in not a list now, but like in next lines. In this is a meaning, a word, a sentence. This is a sentence, yes. A sentence, then the next line is sentence, the next line is sentence, like that, as you can see. A familiar, okay. As you can see, like that, until it gets to the last one, and then it asks us enter a word again. Now what I wanted to ask, what I wanted to give you guys as a assignment, I think this is all. Let me see. Okay. Before I continue, please remind me that I have one stupid assignment to give you. If you don't remind me, I'll give you a harder one. So yeah, before I continue now, we put a reasonable word. That's why we got this list. Imagine it does not return the list. Imagine it returns what else are we returning? Okay, imagine it returns we didn't understand your entry, or it returns this single word. Okay, this one is a meaning. Okay, this one is a list. Imagine it returns this, right? Or even if it returns this. So let's say, for example, now I go, I want rain, and it's like, oh, did you mean rain instead? Let me stop printing this. Let me stop printing the matches. Okay. So I'll stop printing matches. So it's like, do you mean rain? Now, if I write N, okay, if I write no, what happens? It tells us we didn't understand your entry bar. And then if I enter yes, what did I do here? Okay, if I enter yes, it give me data. If I enter no, it tell me the word doesn't exist. I want to write something else that is not yes or no. So I'll say no, right? And I press enter. As you can see, the silly thing that has happened here, right, is that it is printing we didn't understand your entry. And this is not what we want. We want this one, right, in one line. We don't want this, right? We want it in one line. We just want one line. We don't want it. So what it's doing is it is taking back here, this is what has returned. This, we didn't understand your entry. This is what it returned, right? It didn't return this list. It returned this string here, right? So what Python is now doing is like, okay, I get it. This is what the yeah, this is what you return, right? And it's a string. We didn't understand your entry. So it says, okay, for each word or for each character inside this string, print the string. I will print the character. That is why we're having this. So what we want to do now is we want to check if it is a list, because it's only a list that we want to look through, right? So we want to check if it's actually a list. This is a list, this returns a list, and this also returns a list. So we want to check if it returns a list. If the output is a list, then we'll do this for loop. But if it is not a list, we'll just print the output like that straight up. Do you get? So instead of me doing outputs, instead of me doing meanings, I'll do output, because it's not necessary that it returns the meanings. It can return a string or like an error string or something. So I'm going to say for meaning, or I I'm just say for meaning, this one doesn't matter. For meaning in output. Now we are only doing this if it is a list, right? So I'm going to do, if I told you guys how to check type, of a variable, right? So we're checking if this type is a list. You guys know how to check type, so this is not something strange. So we're just going to check if the type is a list. Now, if the type is a list, we're going to do this, right? Else, where is it? Else, we'll do print output. All right. So as you can see now, I'm checking if it's a list. If it's a list, I do, print my meanings, what line by line. But then, if it is not a list, I'm just going to print the output straight up. So let me run this. And if I go, what did I do the last time? If I go, let's see if our mother still works. Okay, now let's see if rain works. And I'm going to say no. So as you can see, instead of it printing, oh, we didn't enter, we didn't understand your entry word by word or character by character, it prints it on one line for us, right? Remember that so far so good, you've just been using for loops, if statement, loops, what else, strings, what else? Nothing big really. Very soon we're going to move to OOP, which is the very interesting part of like programming, most programming languages. But before we do that, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this other app. It's a game. Now, it's inside. It's included in that materials that I dropped. That one that is filled with Jupyter notebook files, right? So it's included there. You guys can follow the step and all, but I was just trying to walk you through. I might not finish because I won't lie to you. I myself, I don't understand that thing. Um, but yeah, you can just walk through it and all. It's not a day thing. It's not like, okay, it's not like something that you just sit down 30 minutes, you've gotten it. It's something you spend hours if you're trying to solve it, or not that if you're trying to like look at the answers and all. If you're trying to solve it on your own, you spend hours, if possible, days on it. If possible, you just abandon it, like me. So yeah. What else? I'm trying to see what else, what else. I was saying you guys should add something. Seems like I might just add it for you. I'm looking at what other. Okay, I guess that is all for this project, right? Um, but then I said you guys should ask some. Okay, what I wanted to say you guys should do was what I wanted to say you guys should do was when it is their first time, right? This is like there was one game that we made. Was it a game? Yes, I think the guessing game. This is something like it sharp basically. And you can even turn this okay, you can actually turn this to a guessing game. But okay, what I wanted to do was, if it is your first time, right? You know this is a while loop, right? So if it's my first time asking a word, I will say, okay, the computer will say enter a word, right? Let me just run it. So this is my first time, right? And I go it and it goes enter a word and I go rain. It gives me the meaning. I want this second one to be enter a word again or enter another word. Who has an idea of how to do that? Quick, 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 quick. I don't want to make it an assignment. It's too simple. It's just here that we're going to deal with that. Who has an idea? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody?
Sorry, what is the question again?
Okay, so the question was, I'm already doing it, sef. But the question was, if this is, where is it? So this is my first time, right? When I ran the program, right? This is my first time. So he asked me enter a word or enter word. Let me even do enter a word. So he asked me enter word and I write the word and it gives me the meaning. I want this second one to be enter another word or enter a word again. Do you get? Do you understand it? Basically, it's very simple.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do else. So what should I do? Why are you telling me we declared? Okay, 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 I get it. All right. I hope this works. Mhm. All right. So if it does enter a word, I say mother. As you can see, the next one is asking me enter another word. Can you guys see? And I go hmm, something just came to my head too. So as you can see, enter another word again. Enter another word again. Uh, enter another word. Basically, all these things are not necessary to be honest, but it's just like you testing. You just playing around with the code and everything. What came to my head? I can't remember. Basically, let's just work with this. So, if you did not grasp much of what I did, because this is very simple. If you did not grasp much of what I did, I've dropped the videos, and I've dropped the link. So just go on the group chat, look for the link, watch the videos, you understand better. All right, let's move to our next project. Now, this one might just take our time and we might not finish it today. But the next, where's OOP? Oh, does anybody know my SQL here? All right, I'll open this ones. Maybe towards the end of the class, I'll just show you a project that we are also going to work on. It's a database project, Sha. Okay, it's our English dictionary, but then we are going to use database actually instead of JSON. But yeah, anyways, let me just go on to, I won't close this. I'll just this dictionary up. Let me create another one. Let me create another one. This will be right. Okay, so for this tic-tac-toe game, right? I hope you guys are with me. For this tic-tac-toe game, like I said, where's this thing? Are you serious? Okay, like I said, it's already there. It's in your materials. You can go and look at it if you're interested. But I'm just going to walk us through anyways. It's going to take time, it's going to take understanding. I myself I've not had time to like sit down and brainstorm on it. But anyways, let's go. Hmm. So I'll show you guys, where is it? I'll show you guys the whole question first. It's actually an assignment, a big one. An assignment or is a exercise. Okay, it's an assignment. Or you can even go online and you can check tic-tac-toe games on Python. It will not be the same way this person did their own, but then it will be something. Let me present my screen. I'm already presenting my screen. I meant okay. All right. Start from here. So if you've read this or if you're seeing my screen, right? You see milestone project, congrats, blah 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 blah. Your assignment to create a TikTok game and you are free to blah blah blah. Here are the requirements. Two players should be able to play the game both sitting at the same computer. Do you understand? Like chess that is two players on the same system. The board should be printed out every time a player makes a move. You should be able to accept input of the player position and then place a symbol on the board. Tic-tac-toe is X and O basically. Blah blah blah. The assignments. Wow. There's an advanced solution too. Okay. You remove the advanced solution. All right, so if we come here, this is the walkthrough, right? I don't even think this one will be helpful, but some suggestion tools before you get started. To take input from the a user, just say player one is equals to input. Please pick a marker X or O, right? Note that input takes in a string. If you need an integer value, use int input. Please enter a number. To clear the screen between moves from Python, IPython display, import clear output. And if you do clear output, it will clear the screen. Yes, before is it before after a move basically. Then note that clear output will only work in Jupyter Notebook. To clear the output screen in other IDs, print next line times 100. Oh wow. So what this is doing, and I think this is what I'll do because I want to use this in I want to create our stuff in Python actually. So let me just get this first. If you look at this, basically what this is doing is keeping 100 lines, right? Let me show you. Just run this. This is not dict file, dict out. I'll add a new configuration, and I'll just call this one tic tac toe. I just tic tac basically Python. I'll just call it tick. What is okay? All right, and yeah, that's all. So basically, if I run this, it's just going to skip 100 lines for me. Basically, we can't see the 100 lines, but as you can see, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling down, as you can see, right? So if I do, let me just do this. You know, I'm always forgetting this thing. So if I do, if I do, right? I run it, you will see that, oh, he has here, see me here, and then there's space in between. Basically, you should understand what this does. I don't know why I'm elaborating that. So um, we're just going to start from here, right? It says step one, write a function that can print out a board. Set up board as a list where each index 1 to 9 corresponds with a number on a board pad. So you get a 3 by 3 board representation. We're going to do that, but let's do this first. So this is the display board, and then we have a board. And what we want to do is we want to create a board. Basically, if you know a what's it called, a tic-tac-toe board, it's basically like this, like this. Let me see if I can do some presentation things so that we just get to understand this thing better. Okay, I'm opening a whiteboard. All right. I hope you guys can see my screen. You can see this whiteboard stuff. So basically, all right. No, what are you doing? Right. So this is our board, right? A normal tic-tac-toe game, X and O, right? Right. So it has X. Why is this ending like this? It has X, O, X, O, X, O, X. This guy wins basically. See me playing games. So basically, as you can see, there are nine. Should I say 9 cells or 9 squares? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So what we're going to be doing is that, first of all, the users will choose a marker. That is either X or O. If player 1 chooses X, right, we will now be telling them, okay, enter your position. If he chooses 1, we'll write the X here. Now, if player 2 plays and he chooses 6, we'll write O here. Do you get? Let's just continue, basically. So that's the English that they spoke here, actually. Here, basically. So we're going to do a test board first. Okay, where is the board itself? Okay, test step 1. Run your function on a test version of the board list and make adjustments as necessary. Okay, run your function. This is a test board, right? This is not our actual board, it's just a test board. If I should run this, error. No module named IPython. Do I have to install it? Okay. So this is where we get into third-party libraries, right? As you can see now, it's asking me to install this IPython package. This is an external package. It's not inside of Python. It doesn't come with Python. So the reason why it is telling me to install it is because it is not coming with Python. So I'm going to install it now. And when I'm done installing, it should work. Now there's something called requirements.txt, and most times we are the one to create that one by ourselves. But no, don't let me bug you guys with that yet. Okay, so write a function that can take a player input and assign their markers as X or O. Think about using while loops for continually ask until you get a correct answer. Okay. Like I told you, I don't know if we've viewed this pass before. Pass basically doesn't do anything. It just it just runs through. It just keeps particular lines or something like that. It just keeps the function. So that's why this has pass. It doesn't do anything basically. Okay, I can run this again, but let me just wait for this thing to finish installing. So we're going to take the testing step 2. Okay, we'll call the function. I'm just going to do all that. Write a function that takes in the board list object, a marker, and a desired position number 1 to 9, right? And assigns to the board. Okay, so no. We're going to write another function that takes the user's should I say the user's position? Yes, it's going to take the board, it takes the user's marker, and then it takes the position that the user wants to drop his or her marker. Sorry, this thing is loading, so it's kind of Ah, okay. All right. So our third function is going to take a board, take a marker, and then put the marker on a position. All right. So all right. And write a function that takes in a board and a mark and then checks to see if the mark has won. Okay, we're going to check if a particular marker has won, right? This clearing the board will be at the end. All these tests, I'm not going to do them actually. I'm just going to do our functions for now. So we're having a lot of functions, right? Now, okay, this is to win. Now we're going to write a function. Write a function that uses the random module to randomly decide which player goes first. You may want to look up random to return a string of which player went first. So choose first. We're going to import random. We're going to use this to decide a random player, like which player should play first. And we're going to import random here. Then I'm listening too much. Write a function that returns a boolean indicating whether a space on the board is freely available. Exactly. This was what I was just thinking of now. So before you put a marker, before you mark somewhere, you have to check if that space is actually available. You guys get, you have to check if the space is available, not that you just drop the space anyhow. And funny enough, I think I'm just going to create a new Python file called play.py. The reason why I'm doing that, you understand in a bit. So I'll say play.py. Now, so what I'm doing is this is the app itself. What? Don't shock me. This is the app itself. As you can see, this has all the functions and the everything. So here we'll be calling those functions. Here we'll be calling those functions. We'll be playing the game, the main game here. But here we have like the whole workflow and everything about the app, about the game. So back here, then we are going to write a function that checks if the board is full and returns a Boolean value, true if full, false otherwise. With this, I think we can even start writing our functions already. If you're following me, try and write a function to, let me see, which one can you write? Actually, you can't write anyone. You need the board first. Okay, you actually need the board first. Okay, let's just continue then. Write a function that asks for a player's next position as a number 1 to 9, and then uses the function from step 6 to check if it's a free position. If it is, then return the position for later use. Let's write that function here. Then, man, write a function that asks the player if they want to play again and return a Boolean true if they do want to play again. So we'll ask the players if they want to play again. What is doing this thing now? Okay, so we ask the players if they want to play again. Right, to replay, right? Right. Okay, how long have we gone? 11:44. Wow. Okay, we have like 16 minutes left if I'm not wrong. All right, so I have all my functions here, right? We're going to be writing our functions, but look, This is how you play the game itself. Um, how you play the game itself. So, no, no, no. Why didn't you do it like this? Anyway, you go wild through. You set up the game. You set up the game here. Fine now. I want to do it like this. What's your own? Ah, and then while the game is on, okay. I want us to understand. If not, we play break. All right. So this is the way the game kind of works. While through set up the game, right, and then basically continue. Then while the game is on, player one's turn. Player one plays, player two's turn, player two plays, like that, and it goes back to this while loop. Okay, no, it goes back to this while. This is a loop actually. It goes back to this loop. Then player one turn again, player two's turn goes back here, player one turn, player two turn, and then in the middle of here, right? Maybe if a player plays, he's going to check, oh, did you win? If the player did not win, he moves to the next player two's turn. Did he win after his move or something like that? And then if at the end somebody has won, he's going to is it return or he's going to, yeah, it's kind of going to return a true false, like somebody has won, and then it comes here and say, do you want to replay or something like that. If they don't want to replay, you just break the whole loop. um Now I'm going to be explaining one thing shortly. You see this app.py here, it is kind of a module in my project, right? So in the sense, when I come here, I can import. I know that I've done this before, so I can import. um, I can say import app. As you can see, it's even showing itself import app, right? Tic-tac-toe game. So I'm going to import this app. So when I import that app, I can now access app dot. As you can see, all the functions are here, right? All the functions that we wrote are here. Display board, replay, win, space check, everything they are here, plus some extra functions that we don't know. So yeah, basically we'll be needing to import that app. So now there are two options. You guys can sit down and start cracking your head about these things, but I won't lie to you. I can't sit down and be cracking my head about it. Um, Basically. So we're just going to follow what the guy did. And as you can see, this is how he created his board. You clear the output, right? Uh, how did I do clear output? Where's clear output again? Import clear output. This works only on Jupyter, so let me just remove this. Delete it now. So since clear output doesn't work in, can you imagine? And I'm going to install something else. I can uninstall it now, can't I? Oh, this is just going to take my time. So let me do this. I'm going to create this as a function actually. And don't worry. I'm going to create this as a function actually. So I'm going to do, let me just do it down here, right? Since it's not that useful. Def clear output, right? Uh, Hope you guys are following me. Bear with me, please. I'm always okay. Bear with me, please. Respond by raising a hand. All right, thank you. And I hope you guys are coding along. It's not that you're looking at my screen because you won't get it just looking at it. You won't even understand it, to be honest with you. Do you get? Even if I came here and I was just like, okay, just do this, do like that, you will never,
Yeah.
you won't understand anything at all.
Close enough.
Yeah, okay. Thanks very much. So, in our display board, that's the first thing we're going to be doing actually. We're going to be displaying the board to them. So, in our display board, we're going to first of all clear the output, right? Whatever is there currently, we're going to clear it. Let me call this clear output here. Actually, let me leave this pass. I do clear output. Now I'm clearing the output. After clearing the output, I'm printing all of this. Let me show you what this is basically in a short while. I'm going to run display board here. So let me just do display board. No, let me just, okay, I can follow that guy's step, but let me just do app dot display board here, right? And what's going on? Okay. And if I'm to run this, oh, okay. I have to give it a board actually. Okay, so this is our test board. Let's just say. Actually, the board, okay, this test board is just a list of, XO, and like that. I don't know why this hash is here, but let's just see. Test board. And what it is doing basically is, um, let me do it so that we just understand instead of talking. Okay, no, this is not working. Why? Come back here. Let's see. Still the same thing. Um, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the first one is nothing. Okay, I don't understand why. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to do tick here. Right, this is where my problem is coming from. Sorry, give me a second. I have to change my configuration because the file I'm running now is play.py and not app.py. So I'm trying to. What is really? Ah, children. Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, edit configuration. All right. Instead of app, we're going to do. Actually, just change it to play. Play. Hey, wait. Will it change? Because will this change? Okay. All right. Now let's run. Okay. As you can see, finally. As you can see, it's giving us our board XO, 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 like that. This is our board, right? Basically, the first 100 here is just clearing the board, but instead of me doing that times 100, I want to do, so when it says clear output, instead of doing print times 100, we can give it like 10 lines, but then we'll just print, just going to print equal to like this. At least this should be enough to demarcate that there's a new board coming in. I hope you guys understand what I'm doing. So if I come back here and I run this, uh, okay, as you can see, I mean, this space concept is not necessary, but let's just leave it like that, Sha. So as you can, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me remove this actually, or let me just leave this to be two, because I don't like the way the space is there. So if I run this time around, okay, so it's just two. Ah, okay, I know what I'll do. Okay, all right. So the beginning, the end, the beginning, the end. All right. So it will have this, right? If I run, okay, to start again. If I run it again, basically, sure. I didn't understand what I did, but anyhow, anyhow, you guys shall get it. So this is the sample board, right? This is what the sample board will look like. You can add spaces to make it bigger, but I don't know how that will look like. Like me, I don't like the way it is kind of very thin inside here. Like I was expecting something like bigger enough, but you would have to be adding where is it? You have to be adding more dashes here and more spaces here. Do you guys get before the, okay. So basically sha, and I don't think I'm ready for that now. We can calculate that one, but not now. Basically, that will be later, like extra kidney. I guess my time is up already. Okay, 3 more minutes. All right, so we've done display board. What's the next move? We're going to write a function that can take in a player's input and assign their marker as X or O, right? Think about using while loops to conditionally ask, okay, so we're going to do this, and let's understand what function is this player input. Okay. So what's going on here is that we're saying, okay, player, your marker is not decided yet. Then we're like, wow, not marker. Aha, interesting. Okay, so what we're doing here is, as far as the marker is not X or it is not O, right? Keep on asking them. Do you understand? Keep on asking them, right? Keep on asking them, player one, do you want to be X or O? You keep on asking them. Now, if the marker is X, you return player one as X, and then player two is automatically O. Or if the marker is not X, that means if it is O, the player one will be O, and then player two will be X. I hope you guys understand this. Control shift. Oh, control. Oh, ah, this one the one. I mean, sorry, give me a second. You know what? Just forget about it. So basically, what's next? So let's do. Should we try this out? Let's see if we can try that out. Player input. So we're going to do here, right? Before we even, okay, we can print the test board, and then okay, we'll ask the player for their input. This will be app dot player input. We'll ask the player for their input. So if I run this and they're like, oh, do you want to be X? And I'm like, I want to be Y. There's nothing like that. Do you get? So it asks you again, Oh, I want to be R. There's nothing like that. So it asks you again, keep on asking you until you put okay, I want to be X, right? And then it goes it's meant to print something. Okay, you are X, but now it has the code broke anyways, the loop broke. And I'm very sure that it has okay, it returns okay, returns X and O, or O and X. Yeah, basically. Um okay, so let's go to place marker. Um yeah, we know this. So place marker is going to be write a function that takes in the board list object, a marker X and O, and a desired position number 1 to 9, and assigns it to the board. So this is the where's the board? Where's our board? Oh, okay, we have a fake board somewhere. Okay, so in place marker, we're just going to do this. Okay, it's going to take the board and take the position and then put in the marker. Do you get? It's going to, so we are going to pass it the board, and we'll pass it the position, and then we'll pass it the marker. So what it's doing is it takes the board. Oh, this is the board. It takes the position in that board, and then it sets that position to the particular marker being passed. So if say for example now, before I display this board, regardless of what is here, right? Regardless of what is here, we're going to do place marker. We're going to do app dot. So if I do this and I run this, it's going to put that dollar sign, as you can see here. You can see we told it 8, and the way this thing is counting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he knows that this is 8, so he puts that dollar sign here. Something just came to my head. Something just came to my head, and it's crazy. If you guys accept this is a challenge. It's not an assignment. It's not anything. But if you accept it, kudos. If you don't accept it, not bad. I'm going to accept it for myself because I've never tried it before. We are going to build a. How many of you know how to play the game Sudoku? Is it Sudoku or Sudoku? Sudoku. You guys know how to play Sudoku now. So we are going to find a way to build that Sudoku game using Python. I think I'm liking building games nowadays with this thing. And you can actually like focus all your energy on building games later. What should I write this? I don't want to forget though. You should not. Olumide Mayowa, please remind me that we have a Sudoku game to build. How we are going to build it, I don't know. What we are going to use, I don't know. If you have your hands, yeah, I think we're just going to follow this tic-tac-toe game. You guys, we'll just use their format. We'll build our own Sudoku game. Yes, but the thing is there will be more calculations in that one. It will be more complex. Basically, I've never seen it, but then you can check online to see if it is possible. But I know it's possible. But we'll try it on our own. We're not going to look at anything. There's no answer sheet anywhere. We might abandon it, so it's fine. Yeah, basically. So let me just continue. I feel like you guys should go and do this on your own, but let me just continue anyways. There's nothing big that this guy is doing. Next class, I should move to OOP. All right, as you can see, it takes the board, it takes the marker, and it assigns the marker to the particular position on the board. Now, it's trying to check if somebody has won, right? And as you can see, okay, as you can see, there are different ways somebody can win. Control Alt L, Control Alt L. I'm just going to do return this board, return this. Have I done mistake somewhere? Why is it? All right. So it's trying to check if a user has win. So we are saying if, let me look at the board. No, in fact, you know what? How do I do this now? Move it to the right first. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to, okay, move to right top. All right, so that you guys can see better. Okay, so as you can see now, this is position 7, right? This is 7, right? This is position 8 and position 9. It means if all this, right, if they are equal, you say this person has won. If the whole of 4, 5, and 6, which is this one, are equal, you say the person has won. If the whole of 1, 2, 3 equal, you say the person has won, right? Then you do 7, 4, and 1, which is this, and this, right? This, and this. You say the person has won. You check for this, and this, and then you check for this, and this. Then you check for this, this, and this, this. Those are the, how many possibilities? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possibilities, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possibilities of winning. Okay, so you check for the possibilities of winning. Right, I don't like the way this thing is here. It's just this comment. I don't even understand, but basically, anyhow. All right. So we have this, right? We have our ways of checking if a user has won. So if we want to check if X has won, for example, this is actually going to, there's no need. Let's just continue because this will return either true or false. Now, we're going to write a function that uses the random module, blah, 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 decide which player goes first. You may want to look up random, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to do, we've imported random already. So this chooses the player that goes first. It says random int, 1 and 2. Okay, between 1 and 2. Yeah, if it is equals to 0, we will return player 2. Else, if it is equals to 1, we will return player 1. I don't even understand that. If it's equals to 0, we return player 2. If it's equals to 1, because it's only between 0 and 1. So if it is 0, we return player 2. Why? I don't understand that, but anyhow, it's returning a user first. It doesn't matter. This is to check if the board or the particular position on the board is empty, right? Before you assign, back here, where do we, before you place your marker, right? Before you place your marker here, you're going to check if that place is actually available, right? And this will return true if it is available or false if it is not. I'm almost done, sir. Now for full board check, what does full board check does? Okay, it checks the whole board. It says if I in range 1 to 9, basically. If space check. Okay. Okay, so it checks the whole board. Hmm. It checks the whole board if there's still space. Do you get? Actually, it checks the whole board if there's still space. Yes, before a user make a move, you have to check if there's actually a space for you to make the move. So it checks the whole board if there's still space, and then it returns false if if space board space check. Okay, if there's space, I don't understand. Okay, okay, I understand. If there's space, right? Because this will return true if there's space. Now, if there's space, it will return false, saying that, oh, the board still has space, so you cannot keep on, you cannot start a new one, or you have to like keep on playing or something like that. So basically, then if there's no space, it returns true, true, true. There's no space. Sorry. So I know that I've taken out of you people's time. So it's 12:10 already. Do you want us to finish this? Or I should just call it a okay, it's actually much. You know what? Let's write our functions. Then next class, let me just complete our functions. Then next class, we'll round this up and move to OOP. You guys get round this up next class and move to OOP. So I'm just going to copy and paste all these functions. The last one, replay just returns, or do you want to play again or something like that? So where is replay though? All right. So what's going on in this player choice is just taking the board, it's taking the position to be 0, and it's saying while the position is not here or not in space check. I don't understand. Player choice, you take the board, right? You pass the board and it does position is 0. Okay, there it can't be position 0 because there's no position 0. If you look at it, it is actually starting from 1. If you note, when we started here, we are starting from 1 basically. Sha, can you see board 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 9 like that? So there's no position 0. Do you understand? So he's setting this position to be 0, right? And he's saying that the position is not, while the position is not in this, and obviously 0 is not in this, right? Or not free, this will return true. So if there's space, or no, why there's no space, yes, why there's no space, or why there's space, I don't even understand. It tells you to choose your next position, and then it returns the position for you. So here now, let's say I choose 0, because okay, by default it is 0, and all this will not work, or all this will work, right? All this will work actually, except from 0. So if it is 0, you're like, while 0 is not in this, okay, while 0 is not in this, true, 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 0 is not here. So this is true. 0 not in this is true, right? Or not space check. If you should do space check, it returns true when there's a space. So or not true, right? Or space, that means or not true, or false. Choose your next position. This second one is hard to understand, but basically I know that it's checking if there's space or if there's no space, right? In the whole board, or in the particular position that you are about to choose actually. And in this 0 now, is actually going to return, if the position is 0, is not going to return anything because there's no position 0. It's going to return maybe null or something like that. So I don't know. But if it is 1, it's going to check if position 1 is there's space there or not, right? And then this is for replay, lower that starts with y And if you are very sure, if you click, if you hit Y, it just starts from the top and starts again. So to finally like play the whole thing, this is what we'll be needing to write. And we're going to start with, so let me just copy all this. Now I'm going to have small issue. Let me just do this actually. Right. Come here, come to this play. Instead of all this, I'm just going to do boom. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of errors. So this is the board, right? And as you can see, the board here is space times 10. Do you understand? You remember our test board we were doing? Where's our test board? Our test board, we passed a list of all this, right? You guys, we passed a list of all this. But here is just doing space times 10. Basically, that's our empty board. And if I'm to print the empty board here, it will show me nothing, first of all. No, yeah, it will show me nothing, actually. Now I'm getting this error because it cannot access this, what do I call it? It cannot access this player input. I have to import it. Although I've imported app, but I didn't use app dot. Do you guys get? So basically, let me just do import this. Oh no, now I don't want it like this. What I want is from app, I want you to import. You guys know you can always do this. I want you to import player input. Can you see comma choose first comma and on and on and on and on. But let me just use the power of, yes, I'm just going to use the power of what was this guy called, PyCharm, right? And I'll automatically be importing all this. And note that as I'm clicking this, it is adding it here. That's what it's doing basically, it's adding it there. Okay, full check, replay, and it's importing everything from app for me. It's importing everything from app for me. Yeah. So let's see. With this one, I don't know what. Let's just leave it like this. Just leave this like this. It doesn't make sure. So if I'm to run this now, hopefully it works. Let's say there are two players, me and myself. Myself goes for X, and I say, okay, player one will go first. Are you ready to play? Enter yes or no. I am ready. So I go yes. No, wait, if I say no, what happens? No. Do you want to play again? Enter. Oh, okay. If I say no, it stops it and tells me, if I ask me if I want to play again, if I say no again, it tells me, okay, finished with, okay, that means I don't want to play at all. You guys can go and try this and test it by yourself. Do you want to be X or O? I want to be O. Sorry, I want to be O. Player one will go first. I don't even know who player one is, but I am player one. Yes, player one will go first. Enter yes or no. Yes. Aha. As you can see, the board is very, very empty, right? So I'm going to choose here. When I was in secondary school, is here I used to go for first. And here is position 8, 9, right? So choose your next position. I say 9, right? It goes boom, it puts it there. Can you see? Choose your next position. This should be for player 2 now. So there should actually be a string that says player 2's turn. Do you get? Player 1's turn, player 2's turn. It's meant to print, it's meant to print something like player 2's turn, basically, before it says this, choose your next position. But let's just continue. We'll edit that one, we can always edit it later. So let's say player 2 wants to put it in the middle. Is it sensible? Yes, let's say it's dumb. It's not actually sensible. Let's say it's dumb. You put it in the middle, and that middle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You put it there, and X goes there. Can you guys see? And X goes in the middle, right? Because that's player 2. So player 1 comes back and is like, oh, I want to put it in 7. Like, I see what you're doing. You think say they wise. So see me literally playing game here. But player 2 puts it here. So there's OO and there's X, and obviously player 1 want to, but nobody will win. So let me not do it like this. Let me just say player 1 is actually done, which is me. And I put it in 6. So it goes X OO, and then first person to play 1, 2. You play 2, and if you play 2, you enter. As you can see, it says player 2 has won, which is X, right? So it has told me, it's printed that player 2 has won because these 3 matches, these middle ones matches. Do you want to play again? Blah blah blah. You want to be? Did I say why? Wow, how did you get that? Player 2 will go first. Why? Maybe it's because it's my second time. Anyways, this program is actually smart, to be honest with you guys. Try it out and see. It's actually very smart. With that being said, I'll first of all end the recording of the class. Okay.